from PRX.
Friends beyond binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster who's not sure. Tonight will be some sort of Cornucopia season animated special recap. I'm not exactly sure which one I'm going to choose, or which, some of it may have some personal essay content too. I mean, I'm pretty sure which one I'm going to choose, but I haven't watched it yet, and I know now to, but whatever, we'll see. If you're new to the show, welcome. Yeah, this is a podcast. It's full of, like, I guess I could say this, pretty boring surprises. Like, later on, it'll already be in the episode title, so it'd be more of a surprise for me than for you. And so I guess, yeah, that's a boring, you say, well, it's just, if I know about it, it's not a surprise. And I say, well, surprise, I don't know what I'm talking about. If you're regular listeners are like, yeah, I'm not surprised, Scoots. That's why this is the kind of content I come back for night after night after night. So welcome if you're new. This show is very different, but I'm very, very glad you're here. And I hope I can help you out. If you're having trouble sleeping, that's what I'm here to do, is try to help you out, to try to help you get the rest you need. So all I could say is see how this show goes. What we got coming up is support. So paying for the show is optional, especially for new listeners or occasional listeners or temporary listeners. We want the show to be free for all of you, or paying for it to be optional, obviously, especially if you're new or you're only listening for a couple weeks as you go through a tough time. Then after the support, totally separate from the support, is the intro meant to ease you into bedtime. And then later on, I'll be talking about an animated special or two. I made a list of 5 in total. So it will be covered for next year as well. So yeah, I'm glad you're here. And I really hope I can keep you company, take your mind off stuff, and ease the deep, dark night. And maybe just be there for you so you could fall asleep. And if you're a regular listener, we could use your help if you're a regular listener. And these are the ways you can help the show, so we can be here for you and for all those new listeners and temporary listeners. It sounds like a pretty good deal, huh? And here's the ways you could be a part of. All right, everybody, it's Scoots here, and I'm talking about a brand new sponsor, Everyday Dose. And if you listen to the show, you know how much I love coffee, but it's complicated, right? I love the smell, the steps of making it in the morning, the quiet time I have alone before I get my day started. But somewhere between the first cup and the second cup, I hit a wall, right? I'm drinking enough coffee to try to give me a jolt of energy, but it doesn't last. And then I start to get that edge, I'm jittery, I'm distracted. Later in the day, I start to lose focus. And then I go back to, wait a second, should I just drink 1 cup? Should I drink 3? Should I drink 4? Was it worth it? Like, what are the benefits? And you also know I'm someone that loves to tinker. I love to play around with stuff. I love testing out new gadgets, upgrades to my routine, doing things smarter. And I was like, man, I wish my coffee was smarter, right? I wish my coffee had an upgrade. Because if regular coffee's like a flip phone, what if there was a version of coffee out there that was like a flagship phone? Something that's like coffee, but without the downsides. And that's when I found Everyday Dose. Everyday Dose is coffee plus benefits. They combine high-quality coffee with powerful ingredients like lion's mane and chaga, collagen protein, nootropics, to fuel your brain, boost focus, and give you clean, sustained energy all day long. It tastes just like coffee without the downside. No crash, no jitters, just clean, sustained energy. Right now, for Black Friday, get 61% off your first Coffee Plus starter kit, a free A2 probiotic creamer, and over $100 in free gifts. Plus, enter for a chance to win $100 cash or get your entire order refunded. Visit everydaydose.com/sleep or use code SLEEP at checkout. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about Helix. And you got to keep Helix in mind when you're doing your holiday hosting. And when you're thinking about your family, say, are you going to be comfortable this holiday season, this winter? Because I'm thinking of a couple people in my family that could use that trip to helixsleep.com/sleep to take that Helix sleep quiz. I'm thinking of my brother. I'm thinking of my dad. But I don't know if you have guests coming. What could be better than tucking them in a nice, comfortable Helix? Or as your kids are getting older, maybe it's time to upgrade their mattress as well. Maybe it's a self-gifting time, and you need a Helix. Have you taken the Helix quiz? How's the mattress you're sleeping in now? Was it made for you, your sleep preferences, your feel preferences? Because you've heard me talking about my Helix for years, how it fits my needs because I took that Helix quiz. You know, I sleep on my side, I sleep on my stomach. The Helix quiz matches me each time. I mean, I'm getting ready to embark on a whole new long-term relationship now that I moved with a Helix mattress. And I really miss my Helix Dusk Luxe. It kept me from overheating at night, kept me comfortable whether it was on my side or my stomach or my back. But it's not about one mattress to fit everyone. It's about matching you with a mattress that's going to fit you and your needs or you and your partner's needs. So take that quiz. See helixsleep.com/sleep. You deserve a new bed. Your guests deserve a new bed. And of course, Helix has an amazing deal for our listeners. So go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 27% off site-wide during their Black Friday sale. This offer is exclusive for listeners of Sleep With Me. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for this exclusive offer. 27% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. That's helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots, and I got a question for you. If you listen all night long, if you fall asleep fast, if you listen 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nights a week, if you've listened over a year, is Sleep With Me something you could easily replace? Like with something else, like you say, no problem. I got tons of other stuff that would work just as well as you, Scoots. I only listen all night long. Wait a second. I never thought about it. If it would be hard for you to replace Sleep With Me and the positive impact it has on your life, think about supporting the show. If you could easily replace the show, there's really no reason to support it, right? You could just replace the show with something else, right? But if you can't replace the show, you're the person I've been trying to get a hold of since April, right? You're the person that's going to make the difference between the podcast being here, coming out as it has been. So just ask yourself that question. And then if you haven't decided, if you're a person that's been putting it off, or you say, well, maybe, I don't know. If you can't replace the podcast, it'd be difficult for you to replace the podcast. Think about everything else in your life that's irreplaceable. Is that worth $60 a year, $120 a year, $240 a year to you? Because it'll make a huge difference in the future of the show. That $60 a year, that cup of coffee a month, a pizza a month, whatever it is, that'll mean you don't have to replace the podcast. If you'd really have a hard time replacing Sleep With Me, let's not even worry about it and support the show, or consider supporting the show. Test out supporting the show at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Oh, Mystery Bart. A lot of people help out on this show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes too. Carl W. the Legend also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bart. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Hannah like banana. Leah does the transcription.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. And don't forget, the most comfortable way to listen to Sleep With Me is with sleep phones. You can get sleep phones at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep-phones and use Sleep With Me for $5 off at checkout. Sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep-phones. Use Sleep With Me at checkout. What do you say we get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it the bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake. That could be thoughts on your mind that you're thinking about. So thoughts, feelings, anything coming up for you emotionally, physical sensations, changes in time, temperature, routine. Maybe you work a different schedule, or this season, I mean, it's temperature. It's a lot of things in this time of year, right? Travel, work schedule, anticipation, guests, expectations. That's another thing I don't usually list, but all those expectations, even if they're only between my ears, those expectations. I have never thought to write a poem about you. And if I did, it was the expectations that I get caught up in. And can you have romantic? I guess you can. What is it if you have non-romantic, romantic expectations that you're not? I'm not trying to romanticize the romantic expectations, right? And I'll give you an example just to go off topic early. Let's just say for this particular season, I was going to make some gravy. I'm not, or I don't know. I can't predict the future. And so what I mean is, be a totally different podcast that would be paid only, right? If I was writing anything romantic about gravy, whether it be odes or keep that to the experts like Chuck Tingle, right? Or Gravy Boat, I guess it would be in that case. But I'm not writing romantic stuff, so it's non-romantic, but then in my head, well, I'm actually talking about expectations already, so I'm already expecting. So can you see where I'm going with this? Maybe not. So it's like I'm not, I guess I'm romanticizing, but I'm trying to de-romanticize it for myself. So then my expectations start to be romantic, I guess in the sense of grandiose. I don't know. They have similar romantic feels like comfort, ease, relaxation. But it's like suddenly in my head, I'm like, this gravy. I start to associate all these things with this gravy I'm making, all these intangible things about wherever. So when I show up with that gravy, oh boy. And it kind of takes away from the reality of like, hey, I'm making this gravy for everybody. I hope everybody enjoys it because it takes on its whole new, I guess that's the only way it's caught up. I mean, it's romantic in a non-romantic way. But I'm imagining, I mean, this is only a thought exercise. I'm not a gravy expert. I think you need to, the gravy's that's the main person's job. Because you need all the other stuff, while you're in process. So, but in my head, it's like, holy cow, this gravy, not everybody can identify, and that's okay too, but it's like, man, not only is it going to change everything, it's going to, not that people savoring the gravy I've prepared will be a moment to savor. Like I'm caught up in those feelings, right? Those expectations. And it does lead to sleepless nights, both beforehand, because it's like, well, how am I going to deal with the days before I get there with the gravy? Is this what people mean when they get their gravy? Oh, I think that's only a Sleep With Me specific thing. I'm going to get your gravy, right? I think it's like get your goats. But I think at some point with this podcast, I said, get your gravy, man. I got your gravy. I mean, in this case, it would be like people be cheering that. It's not that grandiose, though. It's more romantic because it's more subtle, like romance and that kind of thing. in my limited experience, is subtle, but feels good and warm, right? And so the grandiose things is more like people clapping for my gravy. I'm not actually anticipating that, even though this is imaginary. But so that's like what I mean when I say I guess I'm romanticizing my preparation of everything is so okay. So there's your vocabulary. Maybe I'm romanticizing my preparation of the gravy and the results in a non-romantic way. It's kind of like, I mean, like I'm not talking about romantic fiction. Though again, I wish I had an endless amount of time because there's a lot of writers of romantic fiction or the broader genre. And I would love to continue to pick those authors' brains about this. They say, Scoots, this is why I fall asleep to you. I have no idea. I kind of understand what you're talking about, but like I think I don't want to brag here, but the most writers of fiction associated with romance, other than genre-specific podcasts, I think, or super popular podcasts. So we may be in third place. You say of people that I mean that's I guess that one's a Harris humble brag. So we're not the top podcast for writers of fiction that contains a large amount of romance or things associated with romance. And, you know, some of these other podcasts are so large that obviously there's more listeners of all, of all pursuits. But yeah, in third place, I mean, not the third ranked because there's more, but yeah, you're in there. I mean, we're probably in the top 20. No, we're in the top 10 for sure. Can't be quantified though, so don't try it. So if you've ever had expectations about gravy or you relate to those and you've had sleepless nights, I hope this podcast can help you. You didn't think you'd get a gravy boat of nonsensical meanders, but the reason I make this show is because I've been there. And if you've ever been there, whether it's seasonal, temporary, or all the time, or pretty often, that's me. I want to help you out because I know what it feels like for me. And if it feels anything like that for you, like even if you've never romanticized or like something like that and thought it's not going to fix everything. Oh, no, I'm not getting carried away. It's just going to feel supremely good on intangible levels. Even if you can't relate to that, maybe there's something we can relate to, or shared experience or shared language, or just the fact we're not getting enough sleep, the sleep we want and we need. And I want to help with that because we're both people. And the other thing is, it's not just me and you. There's a positive, it goes well beyond triangulation because there's more than one person out there rooting for you. There's lots of people around the world rooting for you, whether you're a regular listener or a new listener. And they really hope this podcast can help you or are glad you're back because they know exactly how you feel. Like they've been through something very similar. They're like, Scoots, nope, never done that with gravy. But, I also know, I mean, they don't know, but like I've been having trouble sleeping because of stuff with my dog. And, yeah, it's like maybe people could relate to that or whatever. It's different every time, for me at least. So, and then you get to root for other people too. If you become a regular listener and you so decide, but not all, you don't have to root for other listeners. It just feels good. And you get to be in that, whatever it is, pseudo angle. I don't know. The other reason I make the show is because you deserve a bedtime where you could get the rest you need, where your life is more manageable. Where you're getting the rest you need on a regular basis, and maybe you're even out there flourishing. But at least with this show, while I yearn and strive to help you fall asleep and make your bedtime excellent and make you feel seen and welcomed in the deep, dark night, even if we just get to the point of like, at least I got that goofy podcaster to listen to, that's not that bad. That's a victory. Because it's like, hey, at least I got something that's not bad to listen to. So it's like, I don't know even what he's talking about most of the time. So, yeah, that's one of the things, right? That's why I make the show. The way it works is I send my voice across the deep, dark night. I use lulling, soothing, creaky dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. So I go off topic, I get mixed up, I forget what I was talking about, then I repeat myself, then I go off topic again, or I ramble, and then I get confused by words and the meanings of words. So that's how the show kind of starts out, and that's kind of what to expect coming up. But the thing is that if you're new, I don't know what brought you here, right? Maybe it was a search, maybe it was a recommendation, maybe you're just frantically trying to find something. It does take some getting used to for this podcast because it's probably different than your expectations. And whatever you expected, this podcast is not it, unless you're a regular listener, right? And you say, man, I don't know. I was looking for something a little bit more sleepy or a little bit more, I don't know. This is not what I expected. And that could feel surprising, or it could feel, you could be skeptical, doubtful, or irritated. That's how most people get to this show. So if you're feeling that way, that's okay. Just still give it a few tries. Maybe breathe in or be like, oh, okay. Like you're allowed to feel that way when you get here. And as a matter of fact, you're allowed to strongly dislike me. That's a common experience. And here's the thing. Even if you strongly dislike me, you could give it a few tries and see how it goes. And then, or already now, if you know, no, it's stronger than strong dislike, that's fine. I have a website set up for you, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. And you just click a couple things and it'll bring you to a list of other sleep podcasts and sleepy stuff. Because everything I said to this point is true, even if you loathe me. But the other thing is I've been doing this a long time, and I've learned, based on feedback, that one, it takes 2 or 3 tries to get used to the show for most people. And sometimes those 2 or 3 tries happen over years, because the first reaction for most people is strong, like confusion, skepticism, doubt, or stronger feelings than that. And I had people supporting the show at like $240 a year, multiple people who said, I listened to you like 4 years ago and I had not positive feelings very strongly. And then 2 years later, I returned to the show because this changed in my life and it affected my sleep again. And I realized, oh, wait a second. Now I get it. This show is like, it's just like hanging with a goofy friend that I don't have to provide for or listen to. I mean, obviously supporting the show is great, but like, you know what I mean? In the moment, you don't have to clean up after me or wonder if you hung up the phone or are they still on the phone? So, yeah, just see how it goes, I guess. Give it a few tries because this is a show you don't really listen to. But it's also, you know, it's like TV on in the other room, a show streaming under your pillow, out of focus picture. We've all done that before, repurpose something to bring us comfort and distraction and maybe so we could fall asleep. But the other, or falling asleep to something accidentally, but like, man, I keep falling asleep to this. And I think that's one of the things that ends up working about the show. It's like if you've ever used audio or video or anything or music or, you know, radio or shows as a comfort distraction, not always to sleep, maybe this show's for you. But that's just one of the things. But I'm not here to put you to sleep. This show, there's no pressure to fall asleep with this show. I'm going to be here over an hour so you don't have to think about falling asleep because my job is not to put you to sleep, even though I've been making a sleep podcast for over 12 years. My job is to keep you company while you fall asleep versus putting you to sleep. And all that means is like, I'm here to be your boyfriend, your borbay, your borsib, your neighbor, your borbee, your best boyfriend forever. Your best boyfriend forever. To just keep you company and distract you, just like a friend in person or on the phone or you're FaceTiming them. Or I don't know. I guess you could, maybe in the day that's it. Here's the thing. We don't know. I mean, we probably do. I've never thought about this before. So somebody please remind me to return to this. But I wonder if people fell asleep reading letters, right? I guess I guess it would take some extra effort, but I fall asleep. I don't fall asleep reading fiction, but I use fiction as a part of my wind down. Maybe people wound down reading letters and started to drift off in the same way, especially if it was a long, detailed one with a lot of meanders. So I don't know. This show is here to distract you, comfort you, so you could fall asleep versus putting you to sleep directly. And if you can't sleep at all, you got something to listen to, somebody to be here with you. Because believe me, last night I was in that for like 5 hours. Sleep was not available. And I had to use a lot of tools, right? But having a bore friend or a bore bay is a nice option, or one of the tools you could have. So just see how it goes. See, these are all ideas, right? And the other thing I like to tell people about and meet you where you are is the structure of the show. And the structure of the show is based on what benefits the most amount of people, right? Like we've been doing this a while. So I'll explain to you what benefits the most amount of people, but it's also adjustable so you could adjust to it, right? It depending. So, we start off all our shows with a greeting. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So that's a nice way to start a show. You say, I feel seen and welcomed in. Everybody's welcome here, but there's no pressure to like the show. That's different, man. I can just go check it out. Yeah, you could just check it out at a distance even. Yeah, see what you think. Then we have support, because it does take a lot of resources to make the show and a lot of people. And we've just found that a lot of people, like having an ad-supported, listener-supported version benefits the most amount of people, because a lot of people are just temporary listeners. They're just going through a hard time or they're new. So the having that ad-supported version out there for them, that's also supported by the listeners who choose to pay for it, that's where the magic happens, right? Because the listeners that benefit the most get to be a part of something magical, but the people that only need to come and go, they don't have to pay for it. Paying for the show is optional, in quotes, I guess. But it is optional if you're new or you're only temporarily listening, if you only listen from time to time. Okay, then, and if you prefer something without ads, whether you're new or a long-term listener, obviously you get that at Sleep With Me Plus, or through our referral program if you can't afford to pay for it directly. Either way. Then after that, totally separate from the support, a show within a show is our intro. It's totally separate from the support. But people that hate the idea that the show needs support, they lump everything together. But the intro is really here to introduce what the podcast is unsuccessfully, well, not inefficiently, because I don't know. I mean, it would be way more efficient for me to just have one intro or like a generic, repetitive intro. But I know that's not going to help you fall asleep or help you unwind. You want to be seen and welcomed in. You want something familiar and reassuring. But again, you want some sort of dull, boring surprise. And that's the same thing with the things under the surface that keep me awake. They don't like predictability. They do like something reassuring and familiar, but I can't listen to the same rainfall 2 nights in a row because my brain, it was something that I can't quite identify. Notice that. It almost feels like disrespected. You're going to play the same rainstorm tonight? No way, man. I'm going to keep you up. It's never that clear, but that's what it's like. So that's why the intro is different every time, but we follow a familiar structure. The reason it's long, other than we get to hang out and you never know, what am I going to go on a meander about tonight, is romanticizing gravy. And regular listeners, some people have been listening to the show since it came out to be like, oh, you already did that back in 8:24 and 3:36. And I said, cool. I always loved gravy, man. And I love saying, good gravy. I got your gravy, man. Pocket full of stuffing. I wonder if that had good. Is that where we were talking about gotten the gravy? So, but the other reason the intro goes on and on and on is to ease you into bedtime. So most people don't fall asleep during the intro. If you do, and you're still listening to me, please support the show on Sleep With Me Plus, because we have no way, like it's critical that people that fall asleep fast support the show. But most people They're getting ready for bed. They're in bed getting comfortable. They're winding down. They're doing a chill activity. So the intro can be there for you to listen to while you're doing that, to ease you into bedtime, to lead you into dreamland, to set the mood, not so much to put you to sleep. And it's like a little bit of an indirect community time. So that's the intro. Then there's support after the intro. And then tonight we'll recap or look at a couple or one or two or maybe my memories of the Thanksgiving Day or Thanksgiving animated special. We'll see. I don't know what'll come up. But I'm glad you're here. I know that. And I know I want to help because if it's anything like it is for you, like it is for me, even if it's not, if it's just unpleasant, I want to help. And a team of people work on this show and are dedicated to this show. And we all yearn and strive. We really want to help you fall asleep. So thanks so much for coming by. And if this podcast does change your life on a regular basis, we really could use your help. So you could either support the sponsors, support the show directly, or support the show by putting in some time in the referral program. And here's a couple of specific messages that are for you. Thanks. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots, and this message is only for super fans of the podcast, people that, particularly if you listen all night long or you fall asleep fast, listen 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nights a week, or you've been listening longer than a year, longer than 3 years. If that's not the case, this is not a message directed at you. But if you're in one of those groups, you're just like, this podcast has changed my life so much, I do have to ask you, would you miss the podcast if it's gone? And if the answer's no, or nah, I'd find it something else, or yeah, no, I have 3 sleep backup podcasts, don't worry about it. But if you would miss this podcast if it's gone, and you have not considered supporting the show on Sleep With Me Plus, we really do need your support. We've been trying to get it since April, and I've been really working hard at just getting your attention. And it's fine if you've decided not to support the podcast, but if you've considered it and are putting it off, don't put it off any longer, because if you'd miss the podcast if it's gone, and you haven't considered supporting the show on Sleep With Me Plus, I mean, not only do you get tons of amazing bonus content, but it's what keeps the show around. So if you'd miss the show if it's gone, and you haven't considered supporting the show on Sleep With Me Plus, please try it out right now. Right now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Set up the bonus content tomorrow. But if you'd miss a show, if it's going to take action right now, sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Test it out. See what you think. And become a part of the future of this show. And it'll be around. That's at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Hey, everybody, it's Super Chill Scoots, Super Tired Scoots, coming at you for this episode. I wasn't there in the intro, man, but I'm here now because Scoots is not sleepy, tired. He's got his little baby Co up at night, taking care, and yeah, it's like having a baby that's new. And so I said, let's call in Scoots. You're tired, man, but you do want to get this episode recorded. So let's call in Super Chill Scoots. Maybe he can even chill Scoots down, man. Yeah. Do we need to keep using that 60s vibe? I'll try not to, but Bud. Okay, I could go with Bud. Okay, Bud. You like that? I do. More? Yeah, no, that's not working. So what are we talking about tonight? We're talking about animated Scooter's relationship, and then maybe with animated, one particular animated TV, the Thanksgiving TV special. And then maybe more, man. Yeah, sorry, I was supposed to say Bud. Well, so Scoots wasn't sure if he had told you this story before, but once upon a time, we're not sure what year, but before there was 6 kids in Scooter's family, there was 3, and then there was 4. This was somewhere around when there was 4, probably before there was 5. And number 4 must have been pretty young, which is funny because now number 4 and Scoot's going to be living with number 4, his brother Ted. But this was before when Ted was either a baby, before Ted was around. And this was a brief time when they had a playroom in their house, or room for playing, because there's 3 bedrooms for kids, and Scooter's sister had her own room, and then him and Carl shared a room. And then the 3rd bedroom for future residents, which would become Scooter and Carl's bedroom. It was a playroom. And this was a place of play, right? And sometimes Scooter would come up with ideas. And this is a particular day and night where he came up with the idea. And I think I guess there wasn't a TV. I don't know where the TV was. In Scooter's mind, he wishes there was a TV in that playroom because of what happened. So this room had a tile floor or linoleum tile. I don't know what you call it. Like, this was a house that was probably, even though this wasn't the 70s, it looked like it was in the 70s. So it had a floor with square. It wasn't linoleum because it was hard, but it wasn't like fancy tile. And all the tile, there was no grout between the tiles. So it was cement with some sort of squares on there. The squares were hard, and they were cool to the touch, which is kind of important. So there was no carpet. Eventually, one day, there would be carpet down there, and then that carpet would be gone in another twist related to Scooter. But so this playroom, this happened to be a day in November, which is important because I think at this time there was like a combination, there was competition for children's viewing of holiday specials, and maybe there was a combination of Charlie Brown special and a Bugs Bunny special for Thanksgiving. And what happened is Scooter was looking forward to this Bugs Bunny special because he had seen ads for it. And maybe he had never seen it before. I was thinking it was new. I guess he didn't know. Now that if I could travel back in time, I'd say it was just compilation. So you didn't miss anything, man. But spoiler, Scooter and his siblings would end up missing this special, but they had it on their radar. And at least Scooter was really excited to watch this later in the evening. But at this particular time, Scooter got himself an idea. Him, his brother, and his sister were playing in this playroom, right? Now, once upon a time, before plastic was really popular, cardboard was a way to... Toys came in cardboard, I guess, like containers that were paperboard, I guess, more correct. They would have a tin bottom and then a paperboard tube and a tin top, and you could put toys in there. For example, blocks, Legos, the ones you used to build wood cabins. I forget what those were called. Lincoln logs, they call it. So you could build a Lincoln's cabin. Like building toys came in paperboard tubes, and maybe even, I don't know what else came in them. But Scooter and his siblings, they had about 3 paperboard tubes with tin bottoms. Now, there was also a bathroom 2 doors down, right around the corner with a bathtub in there. And Scooter got this idea. They'd recently moved to the house within a 2-year time span, but at this time, it kind of seems like they'd recently moved. And Scooter got this idea. He was looking at they were playing, and maybe they got a little bored, and he said, what if we fill up these paperboard containers with water? And he maybe proposed it to his siblings, and they filled them up with water. They brought them from the bathtub back into this playroom. And I'm sure they were playing with the water, like water. I mean, this was before water, but children that had water tables or things like that, probably those are better outdoors no matter what. But, yeah, they had They didn't have a water table. So they were playing and probably playing with the water. Maybe water was getting on the floor. Now, you should also know that Scooter was, if there was issues like this, he would have been he was a problem causer and solver. And he liked to solve problems under the veil of secrecy, right? So if the water was becoming a problem, even his mind, he's like, hey, we'll secretly deal with this. Not a big deal right now. We're playing in this water. We're having fun. But the only missing piece for that was that paperboard, when it gets wet, it deteriorates. And the thinner, and maybe some of these toys were even used, the faster the paper deteriorates and has an ability to contain any amount of water. And so at some point, the paperboard started to break down. And a parental figure arrived and said, what in the name of Lincoln Logs is going on in here? And Scooter, I don't really have a full idea of what they did. Was Chill Scoots wasn't there to say, hey, man, hey, bud, we're playing in the water, bud. Yeah, ma, pa, whomever, adult, we made our own water table on the floor, kind of. It's more like a water floor. Should be a thing. It's nice. Oh, wait, the paperboard's deteriorating. And, oh, yeah, how are we going to get to this? Oh, this is a bit of a mess. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, bud. I don't have a history of cleaning up after myself. You got me. I'm for sure that's but I don't really do that kind of thing that well. And probably we don't have a mop and a mop bucket. Yeah. So I see what you're saying, but you definitely seem very surprised by all this. And I guess the containers are kind of ruined too. And so the decision was made that now this was like to take you back in a time. And, don't worry, like some people might think that this is like that you say, hey, not only are you going to now, I want you to get, clean this up and then you're going to go to bed. You had a very healthy lunch. So you're going to bypass dinner and you're going to go to bed and you're not going to watch this special that you've been looking forward to, or multiple specials. And out of all those things, the only thing fixed in Scooter's mind, other than that this was not, should have been sanctioned, he said, Bud, we just made a water floor. It's experimental. Maybe one day one of us will go to some sort of genius academy where this kind of thing's encouraged. One of us could have invented the water table. But, I get it. We did not predict the outcome of this or see it fully through to know that probably we're going to have to soak all this up with the only nice bath towels we have. So, yeah, your frustration is seen. And sending us to bed with, after just for lunch only, with a lunch breakfast. We had a hearty breakfast, a hearty lunch, so I get it. That's just, that was the time, man. I get it, bud. But the only thing he cared about was that Bugs Bunny special. And how could I miss that? I can't believe it. And he actually, instead of making it better, he decided he would try to sneak out and watch the special on another TV. And he may have been able to do part of it, but not able to watch the whole thing. But I would tell him he didn't miss much because we watched the special. One, you say, I'm not even going to tell you where to find it because it's one of those things that's like the title itself is like, what? But apparently it premiered in 1979. So this could have been 1980, 1981, I would say. Maybe 82 even, that this happened. Don't think it was 79. But really, the thing is, Bud, like this was only like a clip show with Bugs Bunny as a narrator. And really it was a tough thing to say, how is this even about Thanksgiving? But there was one with Yosemite Sam, who says, hey, I've got a Thanksgiving going, no turkey for us. There was also one about, there was one with Bugs and Taz. There was one with Roadrunner and Wile E. And Wile E actually talked in like this very studious voice, which we noticed. Maybe there was one with Elmer Fudd. We didn't take a lot of notes because I said, okay, this one. Then we watched, so I said, hey, let's heal this memory. Let's watch Garfield, which was 10 years later, 1989, where it premiered. Now, this one was mostly focused on John, and it was kind of funny. We tried to predict what was going to happen. Don't really remember seeing this as a kid. I guess because that would have been, 1989. Yeah, maybe I wasn't watching specials. I don't know if that's true, though. But Garfield has an appointment with a person who takes good care of cats, and he doesn't want to go. And so then I think John was trying to sleep in even. And then, like, the next day is Thanksgiving. So I thought that Garfield says, see, it's Thursday. And John goes, no, it's Wednesday. Then we see John go to the vet and say, John, you got to get, I'm not sure about your behavior, but he also says, hey, beyond a professional relationship, would you want to come over for dinner sometime to the vet, to the person caring for Garfield? And so he finally gets an agreement and says, yeah, I guess so. Then we see that like at some point he's getting ready for the big day, and he's getting all these things together, right? He's prepping. And he just wings it. Like he doesn't, he has maybe he's from his grandmother. I don't know. He's following some kind of recipe, but he's not following it. And he's making every single exception, which is a total bad idea. Like frozen, I'll just put it in the oven anyway kind of thing. And meanwhile, his date's there, or she arrives. And then he's trying to still get things ready. Also, he could have a sleep podcast. At some point, what happens is he realizes he should just call his grandmother, who rides a motorcycle. And she's an excellent cook and is able to improvise and say, okay, well, we can't make a tradition. We can make something like a traditional meal. And, but then John also is like, he explains all sorts of history stuff. Like a sleep podcaster, which was interesting. And it kind of ends up that it goes pretty well because grandmother's surprise, like makes the date think that John did everything so he could take the credit, and take the credit he does. So he does that. And then Garfield and Odie have fun. Then there was one which we didn't really pay too much attention to. We tried to watch it. I guess it was from season 2. So there used to be a TV animated show about Pac-Man. Yes, Pac-Man, the video game. But this show, I don't know if the lore, it was an in-depth show. It had certain mythology that I can't quite remember. It was also, and we will cover a Smurfs episode here, very much like the Smurfs and the Gummy Bears, as that there was some sort of wizard involved who did not have good intent. It's amazing anybody ever got it like that. Lord of the Rings was successful after so much anti-wizard or which, I guess Wicked tried to say, hey, what, the 80s, man, what was with those animated shows? Everything was anti-wizard and witch or warlock. I mean, can you imagine how warlocks felt? But so this one was kind of like a look at traditions and vacations. So what do we have? Like she's Miss Pac-Man? I thought, so they're not married. They have a baby together. So there's Baby Pac Baby, and Mr. Pac-Man, and then Miss Pac-Man. And they're going to have a Paxgiving. Then they make preparations. They're trying to make a human meal. And then their friends, like the Caspers from the game, they're always trying. There's actually like a cast of specific Caspers. Now, and then Pac-Man can have these power pellets, which is a bit like if Popeye has spinach. But then in the end, they say, hey, why don't you come to the dinner too? Let's like just work together. But I don't know. It was a little bit dated. It definitely was dated. Then there was a Smurfs one, which we had to kind of search for because it's not directly one-to-one, but it's similar. The Smurfs are having a Feasts of Plenty, like, festival. So it's not exactly the same, but pretty close. And you got Papa Smurf. I don't know how the Smurfs movie did. I'm recording this before the Smurfs movie came out, but he says, yeah, the Feast of Plenty is tomorrow. Everybody get going. There's Farmer Jokey, Painter, Greedy, who's a chef. I had forgotten that. I said, the chef, what is that, the chef? And it says, no, it's Greedy. So Greedy's in the forest, right? He's looking for like perfect ingredients or something. He meets a fairy who had fallen into a thing of like Gargamel, like when Gargamel's looking for Smurfs, similar to Pac-Man. Even though in the Pac-Man special we didn't actually encounter, I just remember seeing the beginning of the show. There's some sort of wizard. Maybe we could look up some of that history here. But so he meets Gunilda, maybe, who's a fairy. She's stuck with this Gargamel surprise, but Greedy helps her out. And she says, hey, thanks for letting me go. Here's a magical porridge pot. If you say, little magic porridge pot, make me porridge nice and hot, it'll fill up with porridge. But the thing is, it's like a bit like a tribble. So Greedy goes back. This is the night before. He says, check out this magic porridge. It makes delicious porridge. And everybody's very impressed, but also a little bit jealous. So Brainy, who's also like usually up, like I guess maybe Greedy and Brainy are the ones that are causing a little bit of chaos. But Greedy checks out the pot, and he says, I'm going to do a switcheroo. So he paints another pot similar, steals it while, like Brainy does this. He switches out Greedy's pot. But Brainy only knows how to start the thing. So he starts making porridge, but he doesn't know the phrase to have it stop making porridge, so it continually produces porridge. I mean, what a miracle of fairy science. And it fills the entire village with porridge slowly. But at some point, there's like everybody's like, it's total chaos. Like people are trying to make boats. Greedy's in his porridge pot because his porridge pot won't fill. So he's like, is this thing broken? But he ends up using it as a conveyance. And finally, Brainy has to tell Papa Smurf what's happening. And then Greedy's floating around in the pot. He's kind of stuck in it. He runs into the fairy. She says, what's up, man? He says, this pot doesn't work. Everything's covered in porridge, too. And she goes, that's not the pot I gave you. That's like somebody switched it on you or something. He goes, oh, wait a second. Then he knows how to shut the pot down, which is like, don't make any more porridge, you silly little pot or whatever. So that stops everything. And then they clean up. And it's like, learn your lesson or whatever. Very 80s. But let's see. Let's compare. Let's see. If I look up, I think Wikipedia is probably the best place versus using some sort of thing. Let's start with the Gummy Bears TV show, which that was one I was a fan of, and I've talked about it before. Adventures of the Gummy Bears. So we're going to look at Pac-Man, Smurf, Adventures of the Gummy Bears, see what else comes up, and see kind of the similarities in lore. I think this is a Disney one. I don't know if it's on Disney Plus, but so this is from Wikipedia. It's American and animated children's series, loosely inspired by gummy bear candies. Takes place in a fantasy world of medieval lands and magic. 6 mystical beings known as the Gummy Bears. And their exploits, they tackle a series of problems and help humans. Episodes consisted of a single story or 2 11-minute stories. It was lavishly budgeted, it said, and it iconically spearheaded the style of animation that followed for Disney. And artistic improvement in television. No wonder I was into it. The series was known for various elements, including gummy berry juice, the theme music, which was spectacular. Ran from 85 to 91. So it takes place in this world. They're anthropomorphic bears, great skills in magic and technology. They live in Gummy Glen, which is a secret settlement in the forest of Dunwin. Now, once upon a time, they had a powerful and mighty civilization, but humans wanted their magic, so that's why they hid out. They're now just a legend. But they search, for the past, and they find their old high-tech devices and stuff. But they, humans they like humans, but humans are also trying to find them. I don't see any. Princess Kala is a human. King Gregor's the king. There's Gregor's knight, Tuxford. And, they have magic through gummy berry juice. They also have, this system where they go through trees and roots on sleds, I think. Oh, yeah. Duke Igthorn is trying to get the gummy berry juice. Oh, and they have friendly ogres that work with Igthorn and Toadwort. And they're also trying to usurp the king or whatever. So there's Zummy Gummy, Gruffy Gummy, Grammy Gummy, Tummy Gummy. Lorenzo Music plays Tummy Gummy. He's the one that, and Sunny Gummy, Cubby Gummy, Caven. That must be a huge. David Faustino played in season 3. Young Boy Page and Squire in Dunwin Castle, Princess Kala, King Gregor, Sir Tuxford, Duke Sigmund Igthorn, former knight of Dunwin, but tried to pull something over in King Gregor. Hangs out with ogres, Toadwort. Toadwort's also. So Toadwort is an ogre. Then we have Gusto Gummy. That's an artistic gummy. So there's other occasional things. Started in 85, along with the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. So that's the Gummy Bears. Let's look up Pac-Man. Okay, there we go. Pac-Man and the Casper Adventures, known in Japan as Pac-World, animated television series. And what do we got here? It came out in Disney XD and bilingual. Based on the Pac-Man franchise, the second animated show to be based on this. Oh, following. Okay, so that's the right one. We're going to go to the 1982 Pac-Man TV series. Wow, so this predates Gummy Bears. It was the highest rated Saturday morning cartoon show in 1982. 20 million kids watched the first episode. Okay. Pac-Man, Pepper, that's Miss Pac-Man, and Pac-Baby. Chomp Chomp's their dog, and their cat Sourpuss. They live in Pac-Land. They live in sphere shapes, and they got to deal with the Caspers. Inky Blinky, Inky Binky, Pinky, Clyde, and Sue, which I think that in the game they did have those names. But yeah, they work for Mesmaron, or Mesmarin, kind of like Mesmaro, who wants to get to the power pellets. So you have a secret, kind of like gummy berry juice, that's a food and power source, and Deus Ex Machina in virtually every episode. Interesting. Okay, production. This was like a theatrical agent. They talked to Hanna-Barbera. They didn't understand who Pac-Man was, thinking it was they were going to go pitch an idea. But the show's success inspired ABC's rival CBS to become Supercade. So we'll have to check that out next. And yeah, there was Pac-Land, Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures, those games. But yeah, that's really all we got. There's season 1, season 2. There's a trick or treat special and a holiday special. Maybe we'll check out the holiday special. Let's see. Yeah, it was also on with the Richie Rich Show, and then the Rubik's Amazing Cube Hour. And then it was on Cartoon Express in the 1980s, and the Cartoon Network. Okay. See, Saturday Morning Supercade. That was an anthology series from video games. Frogger, Donkey Kong Jr., Q*bert. I remember Q*bert a lot. Interesting. Frogger was an ace reporter who worked for the Swamp Gazette with Shelley Turtle. And, what else do we have here? Donkey Kong, voiced by Soupy Sales, and works with Mario and Pauline, though they're chasing after. There's 2 seasons of that. There was also Pitfall, which was another popular game. Q*bert, I don't remember Q*bert the most. Donkey Kong Jr., Kangaroo, that was another game. Space Ace, okay. Let's just read about Smurfs. Let's see, SMUR, animated. Okay, 1981. This is probably the one. Smurfs Adventures, 1981. Children's thing, 81 to 89. Based on the Belgian comic series by Bayo. They said, hey, let's... They launched the Smurfs in association with the California company Wallace Berry and Company, who was doing the toys. And let's see what we got. We got anything about the plot here? I didn't know about Gargamel and stuff. This has just all the casts. Smurfs produced by Thing. History, let me look at production, voiced cast and characters, reboot. It's nothing about the plot. I mean, I didn't know the plot, man. But yeah, Smurfs were up against Quantum Leap. 200 episodes. 1989, it had reached the 200 episode threshold, which is rare for cartoons. Let's see. It's one of the few hits to emerge from this area. One of the longest running. 7 spin-off specials. Papa Smurf, Smurfette Brainy, Gargamel, Azrael, Johan, and was nominated for multiple Daytime Emmy Awards. Interesting stuff here. Okay, I want to look up. Next I want to do is like see if we can find the TV commercials that played during that. Must update to continue. Oh, man. Okay, well, we'll do that. No problem. We're being told what to do. So I watched, I think it was a Bugs Bunny one with commercials. And what I noticed was that there's like one iconic commercial for Mickey D's, right? And I don't think there's any food in the entire commercial. And all those ones had a very, because you say, hey, Generation X, again, this comes up a lot. What's up with you, Generation X? And I'd say, well, let me lay out this commercial for you. It's like kids, there's animation, children, human children, live action, actors, obviously. And I'm pretty sure by memory, if I can find the commercial, the kids are ice skating. Then I think at some point, then these animated animals come running around with them, and they're like, this is great. And then they see Ronald, old Ronnie D. He's ice skating with joy. And, yeah, that's it. I mean, that I can remember, right? Let me see what I can find. Okay, here's the one. Now let's see if I can find the one that had the commercials. Maybe it wasn't on here. Okay, I think I found it. Okay, so let's see. First, there's this first commercial's for, this is a different one. So this one's for again, Mickey D's, and Ronald has these dancing poof friends that are I think these were the Fry Guys, and all the kids are dancing too, pretty well. And the Fry Guys are maybe animated or they may be puppets. I think they're puppets. I don't know the music obviously because I'm here with you. How many Fry Guys are there? There's a yellow, 6 of them it looks like. Yellow, orange, green, light blue, navy blue, and then kind of like a fuchsia. Is that fuchsia? Is that the correct pronunciation of that color? And that was called the Fry Step. So Ronald teaches everybody the Fry Step. Yeah, that's fuchsia. Maybe they just have animated legs. Wow, this is really advanced. I think that's it. Wow, so that's advanced commercialing. And the inside of the McDonald's, the set is very nice, which was an aesthetic back then. Lots of light and lots of space for dancing. Okay, the next one coming up here is a kid on a hobby horse with a cow. And then now a girl with a bunny. Bunny grab it. So these are puppy love. So these are very huggable stuffed animals. Oh, then a bear buddy. Then somebody on the phone. Hug heaven. So Puff Lumps. So these are the Puff Lumps. I think the Puff Lumps may have had their own show for like a time. Next commercial here, we got milk. We got a kid eating something. Breakfast is a big family breakfast or dinner. Oh, it's soup. This kid's eating some soup. Dog's watching him eat soup. Campbell's chicken noodle soup in a can. That's and he's drinking. Okay, there's another Gen X thing. Okay, this I can't even imagine doing, but I probably did. You see, Gen X, what's up with you? Well, let me tell you another example other than learning to dance in a McDonald's, or that would be an idealized version. We would regularly eat things like Campbell's chicken noodle soup with a chicken broth type thing and whole milk and a glass of whole milk together at the same meal. Yeah. You say, wait a second, what? I say, yeah, I don't even know how we ever... and we would have milk at lunch, chocolate. You could choose between chocolate milk and non-chocolate milk. I mean, can you imagine for all our friends that are in like their bodies to say, I don't tolerate that well. Man, like, but Campbell's chicken noodle soup with a glass of milk. Then there's a commercial for Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which I think must have been new back then. And still one of my top, I don't have it a lot, but one of my favorite cereals. And I really like the ads. This one has three animated chefs. Two kids are putting stuff up for Santa. And then three animated chefs are saying, no, what about cereal for Santa instead of cookies? Cinnamon Toast Crunch is as good as cookies. And then maybe there's even singing. Okay, then there's some bears in a plane. No purchase. It's a Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You could win a bear. Santa Bear Express. I don't know if that was a movie, too. Wow, those are huge. Okay, then an ad for a couple of shows. I Love Lucy. And something else. They're interspersing. Let's see. And then Jane Curtin. Okay, so these are all different shows. Monday. Oh, Kate and Allie and something place. Friend's Place. Okay, then we have a commercial for Simon and Simon. Then the weather. Okay, then we have somebody else talking from a TV show. Her arms are crossed. Ari Myers. And then we got more commercials coming up. What do we got here? Oh, Juicy Fruit is going to move you. So there's people snowboarding. And back then, sugared gum was a way to set a beer. Like all these people, beautiful people snowboarding, laughing, and chewing gum. And that's what beautiful people used to do in the 80s. Had juicy fruit gum, which the taste moves you because it moves you to have another piece because the taste does not last long. Okay, then we have kids bowling, little toddlers. Oh, and this is for Flintstones vitamins. And it looks like they had 4 different ones. Okay, now we have an ad for Orida and another toddler. A lot of toddlers in these commercials. Oh, microwave fries. Orida microwave fries. Orida. Orida is Orida. Then we have Daffy Duck in an ad. Daffy Duck had a Thanks for Giving special next. Didn't know about that. Then Pee-wee's Playhouse commercial for Pee-wee. Come in and pull yourself up a chair Saturdays. And what else do we have? Do we have any more? Okay, now we have a girl. She's got a doll. This must be a TV movie. Is she gulping? There's somebody with a lamb. Now she's talking. Now they're helping another kid. There's a carriage. The Secret Garden, Monday at 9. Then there's a TV show about Belle and then Dallas, commercial for Dallas. Maybe I don't think Dallas is still Falcon Crest. These are PM soap operas. Friday night. Yeah, Friday night was for soap operas. Now there's a TV commercial for a truck, a light truck. And some vehicles have dealer installed options, $500 back when you buy it. There's automatic transmission on this one. And that one's going through the mud. This one's going through a field. This one's going through a meadow. So if you drive through meadows, fields, or mud, you get a truck. Okay, next up we have a house. There's, is that a pound puppy? Yep, pound puppy from Tonka. There's pound kittens. They're trying to get this kid's attention, so he asks Santa for him. Oh, this one's getting into his house. He doesn't even need Santa. All the other puppies and cats, they all came down the chimney. And the kid looks, and, because you get them from Hardee's. Interesting. Didn't say how, but, I mean, it could have been, I could have missed it. Okay, then we have a special sign, CBS special. Oh, and this is like the ads between the Daffy Duck special. Okay. Okay, we have 3 people getting ready, a kid and his parents. He's brushing his teeth. They're rating him as they brush his teeth. Oh, no, they're giving him flashcards. Division 24 divided by 4. And this is, instead of your parents, what about it do something like a tablet that's like does flashcards and math? The talking whiz kid, batteries not included. So that's interesting. Turn on a mind. Okay, now we have extra sugar-free gum. Now, instead of skiing, this is like sailing on the dirt. But again, beautiful people. They're out on these boats with wheels. And then there's dad and his daughter. He's winning prizes. And there's people in they're kayaking. Whitewater rafting with gum. Make sure it's sugar-free in that case. Wrigley's Extra. Lasts extra long time. Keebler Elves, a taxi pulls up and a bunch of reporters because they have some new product, cheddar something, aged with New York cheddar. I think like these are like kind of like goldfish, cheddar crackers. Oh yeah, Townhouse crackers. That was a kind of Keebler cracker. These ones are cheddar Townhouse, cheddar Junior maybe. Can't quite make it out. Then ad for ranch dressing, Rancher's Choice. You know what ranch dressing ranchers like? Rancher's Choice. Who choosy moms choose Jif? No, ranch. Oh, and they also have Italian, French dressing, Catalina dressing. These are all squeezable dressings. And people doing fancy work with their dressing. Kraft makes salad sing, man. Okay, then another ad for TV shows. This is like Kate and Allie were in a version of Kate and Allie and Frank's Place. Okay, then an ad for sports coming up. College sports, sporting around. That's on the weekend. Okay, so this was Friday night the special was on. That makes sense for Scoots' original story. Okay, then we have the ad for the birds or the bear contest from Cinnamon Toast Crunch. 1 in 1,000 chance of winning. Santa Bear Express. Okay, then we have a couple days only. Sears is having a sale. Friday night special. Everybody's looking through the flyers. 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday. Oh, it must be on Friday after Thanksgiving. Then Campbell's Special Request Soup. This is, again, beautiful people eating soup. Kind of like people that look like they're famous or something. Special Request. Another ad for the Secret Garden. So Secret Garden's getting Secret Garden, and I guess they're promoting their own stuff. That makes sense. Network television premiere of what movie's this? Gandhi. Gandhi's network television premiere. And then we'll have a couple more specials before we tuck in here. Last round of commercials from the 80s. What do we have? Do we have? Oh, no, that's it. So that's it, everybody. Oh, no, there's still 20 seconds left. They're just running the, so I guess that's it. I'll tuck you in. I'll say good night and hope you have a happy holiday season. Thanks for listening. Good night. Hey, boys, this is Scoots. Before you go to sleep here, this is just a tuck you in message, for super fans of the show, super listeners, people that listen all night long, people that fall asleep fast. Maybe I caught you somehow. People that listen 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes a week. People that have listened longer than a year, longer than 3 years, longer than 5 years. If your life has changed, I've been saying this since April in a really direct way, but if the podcast makes your life better, it has changed your life, and it's not replaceable. Like, if you have something you could replace this podcast with, don't worry about it. But if you say, man, I'd have trouble replacing this show. Scoots didn't make the show anymore. I don't know how I'd feel about somebody else making the show. If Sleep With Me was just gone, or if it was behind a paywall, if there was less episodes, less free, or if the show was just not there, would you miss it? Would it be hard for you to replace it? If that's the case, please consider supporting the show. Test it out even. Just sign up right now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Because most people that wait for tomorrow wait a few years, to be honest, or maybe never support the show. It's always tomorrow. Don't wait till tomorrow. If you're going to miss a show, support it right now. Set up the bonus content tomorrow when you're rested. But you could do that. sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Then you don't have to worry about any of this. And also, like a lot of people that aren't in a position to support the show or having to cut back right now, you'll be supporting the show for them too, which is pretty cool. But if you've been thinking about it and you haven't done it, you're who I'm trying to get a hold of. Because a lot of people, more people have decided they're not going to support the show than support the show. But it's the people in the middle that I just can't quite get a hold of that are going to change the future of the podcast either way. So if you're one of them and you'd miss a show, support it. sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks.